pursued by our forebears. May the best of their ideas and accomplishment provide Hillsdale students with the basis for good and noble lives. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce our head librarian, Dan Joldersma. I can think of no better tribute than to say that Dan and his staff represent 104 years of combined service to Hillsdale College. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Don. Let me begin my remarks with a special thanks to Don Mossey and to the Mossey family for their long time and continuing support of Hillsdale College in general and this library in particular. I am speaking today on behalf of 1,100 students somewhere out there on campus, another 10,000 students or more who will find their way to Hillsdale College eventually. I'm speaking on behalf of 85 grateful faculty members, and I'm speaking on behalf of 9 very happy full-time library staff members and about 50 student library assistants who find employment in this building. And what I want to say is very simply, on their behalf, thank you. Thanks to the many, many people who made this library expansion possible. A project of this size is truly a team effort, and we are especially grateful for our financial contributors, for our planners and architects, for our construction crew, for our library staff, for our administrators who write the checks, to our maintenance crew, and to 100 other people who brought us to this day. Thanks to Bill Broadbreck and to our good friends in the Food Marketing Institute who have provided a most fitting memorial to our good friend Lawrence Taylor. And thanks for the exceptional contributions of the Layton, Dow, Becks, Richardson, Mossey, Mask, and other families in making this library expansion possible. We are deeply grateful. 5 years ago, Dr. Roach sent a memo to all departments on campus and asked what it would take in terms of faculty and facilities and libraries and laboratories to take a very good college to the next level. That launched this project, and you see the impressive results today. Thank you, Dr. Roach, for your challenge and for your leadership. A special thanks to Tony Fowler, our Vice President for Administrative Affairs, who was our quarterback on this team. We had at least 11 players, and we did wander all over the field. But he pulled us back together. We only punted 3 times, and one time he called the Hail Mary play, and it worked. Thank you also to our students who endured over the past year 1,000 disruptions of dust and dirt and noise and cold and warm and other disruptions, and occasionally no lights. Thanks to our architects and to our construction crew, I have newfound respect for someone who can walk 50 feet above the ground on a steel beam, and for a crane operator who can move a crane very carefully with a 3-ton beam and place it on top of a concrete column 3 inches from a library window. Today, the library is nearly completed. We are disappointed that our new tables and chairs and study carrels have not arrived as per scheduled, and we are missing some of the signs and some other things. But perhaps that is appropriate. This is a work in progress. The library's work is never finished. We will take at least 20 years to fill all the library shelves, so perhaps that's appropriate that we're not finished at this point. Now I'm speaking personally. I'm not speaking on behalf of students and faculty and librarians. I want to give my personal thanks to a wonderfully dedicated library staff. Thanks for your good ideas, for your inspiration, for your hard work, and your patience. To all of you, a job well done. Thank you. A personal thanks to my mother and to my mother and father-in-law who are with us today for teaching me by word and deed the value of hard work, individual responsibility, teamwork, patience, and generosity for those who have little. You know, we talk in general terms about these traditional values coming down to us through the institutions of Western civilization, but it usually comes down in the form of moms and dads. Thank you, Mom, and tusen tak, Lars and Carol. And one more personal thanks, and that's to my wife, Barbara. It's been quite a year, eh? Thank you for your support, for your patience, and your good ideas. You're simply the best. And I'll get to that leaky shower next week, Wednesday. There are many magnificent changes in this building, but one important thing will not change, and that is our basic mission. We take seriously the college's commitment to discover, preserve, and transmit to future generations the best which has been thought and said of our civilization and heritage. In every visit to this campus, Dr. Russell Kirk spoke with conviction of norms and standards, of heritage and tradition, of duty and obligation. He spoke convincingly of the enemies of the permanent things, and he reminded us of our obligation to claim our Western heritage and to pass it on to future generations. And that is why this new library addition is an important link and an important chain. More than computer screens or video screens, what we want to see light up are the faces of our students, of the 19-year-old kid from North Dakota or North Adams, as they quietly discover in our library stacks and claim as their own the treasures of our cultural and intellectual heritage. As we dedicate this building today, we as students, as librarians and faculty, rededicate ourselves to this important mission. Our challenge now is to use this gift wisely. It is one thing to build a magnificent building. It is another thing to fill that building, to fill the shelves with the best which has been thought and said. It is yet another task to make sure that these books get into the hands of our readers. Thank you all for your confidence in us and for your investment in our mission at Hillsdale College and for being a vital link in that vital chain. We have several librarians from Hillsdale and from other colleges with us today, representing the state of Michigan, to help us celebrate the forging of this latest link in that chain. I am especially pleased that my predecessor, Mr. Glenn Fitch, and his wife, Eleanor, are with us today as well. He steered this ship for 35 years at Hillsdale College, 30-some years at Hillsdale College. I'm sure the librarians from Hillsdale and from around the state share our mission, and I'm sure they share our fondness for these words of James Madison, which are inscribed over the entrance to the Library of Congress and are also found in your dedication brochures. And these words are, "What spectacle can be more edifying or more seasonal than that of liberty and learning, each leaning on the other for their mutual and surest support?" And so, as students and faculty and librarians, with gratitude and enthusiasm, let us accept that as our challenge in this library for the decades to come. Liberty and learning, forever linked in the Mossey Library. Thank you.
Have me choked up here. We give shape and meaning to our lives by dreaming new ideas, and giving them substance through our prayers and labors. You've heard from the principal parties involved in